Class, I just wanted to go over the final exam review. I wanted to point out that in iCollege, I created a folder called Final Exam Prep. So this is on iCollege, and in that folder, there are several files. One is just what I'm going over right now, and the other two are practice problems with answers, and I don't know why I have them both out there. They look like they're about the same, but they have problems that it's very important, that you practice with these problems, do these problems, and the answers are there. This is just like the first two problems. So I wanted to point that out to you that you need to do those practice problems. You can also use the old test to practice with and the old practice problems to practice with. Now, what will be on the final are limits, of course, included one-sided, um, and other regular limits. This was from test one, so use the algebra techniques to evaluate a limit, evaluate limits involving infinity, evaluate limits of a piecewise function, evaluate limits from a graph of a function, and use L'Hopital's rule where it applies to evaluate limits. That was actually on test three. Continuity, know what it means for a function to be continuous at a point, be able to tell by looking at a graph whether a function is continuous at a given point, and be able to tell where a piecewise function is discontinuous. So be sure you understand about continuity. Derivatives, find the derivative using the definition, either one or two. Remember the limit definition. Find where a function is differentiable or not differentiable. That was also in test one. And then find the derivative using all the differentiation techniques that we've had, the power rule, the product rule, the quotient rule, the chain rule, exponential and log functions, trig functions, inverse trig functions, implicit differentiation, logarithmic differentiation. Find second derivatives, and find the equation of the tangent line and the normal line. I don't think I'll ask you about the normal line, so don't worry about that. Let's just mark through that. I don't think I'll ask you that. Don't worry about the normal line. And find where a function has a horizontal tangent. So be sure you can do all of that. Analyze functions. Answer questions about f of x when given the graph of f prime x. Find the following for a function f of x by using calculus and the techniques learned in class. This was test 3. Intervals where f is increasing and decreasing, and so you'll need to use the derivative to answer that. Intervals of concavity, local max and or local min, absolute max or minimum when given a closed interval, inflection points and critical numbers. Apply the derivative as a rate of change, including motion problems and problems involving position, velocity, and acceleration. Solve related rate problems, that was test 3. Optimize functions, that's optimization, that was on test 4. Use Riemann sums to approximate definite integrals, that was test 4. Understand the definition of the definite integral, so that's talking about the limit definition. Apply the fundamental theorem of calculus, that was test 4. Evaluate definite and indefinite integrals, that was test 4, and be able to use substitution to evaluate an integral. So that's basically what's going to be on the test. It may not have everything on here, but that's the stuff you need to know. You shouldn't see anything that wasn't on a test that you've already had. I mean, it'll be similar to something that you've already seen. It shouldn't be anything totally different. So that's all I have for right now. So be sure you pay attention to when the final exam is. That's listed in iCollege. And so let me know if you have any questions whatsoever, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.